All right, we are live. Welcome to our Thursday live Q&A. I know this is one where we have a lot of people who have been excited about this one. With the tools and features that we have rolled out since the beginning of 2024, the new integrations, the CRMs, the templates, right? We spent last week talking about the best ways to use those. And the week before that, we had some power users on, Bob Milloway, which I know is on here yet. He came and showed us how he is getting amazing interaction on it. Last week, we kind of went over just where they are, make sure everybody knows what they are. And then this week, we're really excited to have Josh on because what he does with the CRMs, the direct mail, the postcards, it is absolutely amazing. So now, before we introduce Josh, and I'll let him kind of tell him a little bit about himself and his background and what he does, which I'm pretty sure everybody here knows who he is. We have a pretty amazing feature that is coming out that's going to be going live today or first thing in the morning. So I'm going to be sending out videos on it. So stay tuned. I'll make sure and send the videos out via email and on our Facebook group, because this is one feature I do not want you to miss. The universal UI that we've been talking about, and then I know Smarty uses, and Bob that we were talking about last week, the new UI version of it is live, and it has far exceeded my expectations. The functionality is amazing. It looks good. It functions good. And so now you're going to be able to have one environment where whether they scan a postcard, they click on a button on an email, your website, they're going to have a place they can go where they can see who you are, the property. They can have access to their valuations, cash offers, and their listing options all in one place. It is absolutely going to be awesome. So we have that's going to be going live. So stay tuned for that. So now, let me keep letting more people in real quick. So now, without further ado, our goal is to bring on users who are doing amazing things from a marketing standpoint in the real estate space. So Josh Schoenly is a power user in that world. And Josh, I saw you posting a couple of things in chat. Make sure y'all are watching the chat box here. And I know we want to plug Wake Up Real Estate, different things here, make sure everybody's a member of that. So let's make sure we drop in those links. They do an awesome podcast with another great friend of ours, Ryan Hartman, Thanks.io. It's a great one to get a ton of good insights for. So without further ado, Josh, man, tell us who you are, and let's kind of just dive directly into it. Like, we want to know how you're getting this engagement, what you're doing, the mailers. Like, this audience here just wants to hear how you are using different tools and creating that growth. Oh, and it looks like you are on mute real quick.
My fault. There we go. So real quick, thanks for the shout and the plug. I did put our YouTube channel and our website. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And the account is free. So if you go to wakeup.realestate, create a free account. We got lots of cool resources, scripts, templates, etc. Anyway, there's three, I think, main ways that I want to illustrate or highlight that using iList. Number one, to generate leads. Number two, converting my existing homeowner database. And number three, marrying it with direct mail, Thanks.io, and the seller dashboard. So, number one, I have been in the third and fourth quarter of 23. I turned them off recently for several reasons, mainly because I want to see I'm doing kind of like a case study, but I was using Facebook and Instagram leads, conversion style Facebook and Instagram ads to generate address only leads. Well, it wasn't only address only leads, but the nice thing is iList will capture the address only. So anybody that pops in their address is a lead. So we were using that to generate those leads, then using the skip trace if they didn't give us more data, and then firing off a smart campaign in KV Core and sending an automated direct mail drip campaign, which is what I'm going to highlight some of that for everyone. What I was trying to find is the example of the ads. So what I'll have to do, Joe, I couldn't find the document that has the ads and that in it. So I might have to get that to you after the fact, because I think that the Google Doc is of all the direct mail pieces and the messaging on that, but I couldn't find the ad. But it's very, it's very straightforward.
Awesome. So you're actually going to provide some messaging and stuff that you works.
I'll give everybody everything. I just couldn't find it. I know we have the doc somewhere, or maybe Mike,
those people.
Mike may have turned it into a little course or so. I'll find it one way or the other, and I'll make sure that we get it to everybody who's interested. And if you don't get it, you can find me anywhere. Just hit me up. I'll give it to you. So using those to generate new interested homeowners in the database, and then using the functionality that Joe, I think you released like late summer, maybe, of being able to send an email through KV Core, and it integrated in such a way, dynamically integrated, so that, if I send Joe an email about his property, when he clicks on it, he sees his seller dashboard. And so that has been an incredible engagement tool that I've been using. And we send once a month for them to update or to go and check their updated, AVMs. We're using that in place of, for a long time, I was using HomeBot, and then I was using Home IQ for a while. And both of those are very expensive for one party or another. Especially, they're not super expensive when you have small amounts of data. But let's face it, like if we're going big here, you don't have small amounts of data. So anyway, it's been a wonderful, it's saving me hundreds of dollars a month being able to do that. And in my opinion, and like personal experience, it's like more engaging. Like I know Home IQ and HomeBot maybe have a little bit more variety of data, but like the integrated seller dashboard and the cash offers, like some of that other variety of data is cool for the homeowner, but it doesn't really do much for us, right? Like,
yeah, and we've seen that create a little confusion, because when you get in there and you start looking at, if your goal is to deliver values from a real estate purpose, but then it's talking about the cash out refi and this and what Airbnb does, we've seen it sometimes it gets a little crowded. And so we've tried keeping ours as clean and focused on like what they're looking for. Yeah.
Not only has it been significantly cheaper, because I think of the simplicity and the focus of it, it's generated way more tangible results than having used HomeBot and Home IQ for literally like probably 3 years, or at least 2.5 years. And Jim, KV Core is just an all-in-one, like it's just a CRM, IDX website solution all in one. Lofty or Chime, formerly Chime, now Lofty, is similar. Sierra Interactive, it's that kind of platform. So using Facebook and Instagram, putting people into the pipeline, using the integrated solution, which, if you're using the iList CRM, it works the same way, right? Like they automatically get taken to their dashboard. And then I hooked my boys up here, Joe and Ryan, and they added that same functionality to direct mail.
Yeah.
So,
which that, by the way, Josh, thank you for that introduction. That is one of my favorite. In fact, look, sitting right here in front of me right now, what do I have? I've got all of the different postcards. Like that is one of my favorite things to follow up. The email can't layer on top of, not follow up, but layer on top of it is one of my favorites. And so the introduction from Josh to Ryan and what Ryan was able to do up there, so awesome.
Yeah. So can you see my screen?
I cannot see your screen right now, but you should have sharing capabilities.
Hold on.
To take over here.
There we go. Now
we're cooking. Yep.
Okay. So I shared this on our show yesterday. We do a live show 10 a.m. Eastern every day, every weekday. We won't be, except for tomorrow, because Ryan and I both, Ryan's going on a little camping trip, and I'm taking my oldest son on an official visit to University of Delaware. But normally we're live every weekday at 10 a.m. Eastern. Yesterday, I shared, if you want more context and details on this, you can go back and find that episode of yesterday's, talking about this postcard. Now, this postcard is part of the automated follow-up that I have going for the leads, the home value leads that I was generating with Facebook and Instagram. And it is being sent on day, not 49, day 79, maybe? So this is 80 days after they originally requested a home valuation. And, you know, I was busy Monday afternoon. I have 4 kids and they all play multiple sports, and like are like from 4 o'clock on, it's just complete chaos in our house. So I'm like running around, taking people this way and that. And I check my email while I'm waiting for one of the kids to come back. And I see that I have 4 QR code scans on a postcard. And so I was like, oh, wow, you know, that's always fun and exciting. And I pull it up, and it's this postcard that landed day 79 to these 25 leads that I generated almost 3 months ago, who are coming back to check out their seller dashboard. And why should you care? Well, I am always looking for marketing outliers. In other words, things that get outside of the normal response rate. And this one qualifies as that. So if I were you, and what I've been thinking about and what we recommended yesterday is taking this this postcard and figuring out, if it works as follow-up, it'll probably work as a front end or top of funnel marketing piece as well. And what we recommended yesterday is not necessarily to just blindly blanket an entire neighborhood, but use AI or algorithmic data to identify who are the more likely sellers. Or most of you on here probably already have 25, 50, 100, 1,500 homeowners in your database. Like, send this postcard out to them, get them warmed up, and then all of the ones that engage, that scan the QR code, invest more time, energy, and efforts into having a conversation with them to judge what's their motivation. Why did they, what motivated them enough to check out what or how much a buyer might pay for their property. And there are a whole bunch of reasons why I think this postcard works so well. Some of them you can use with any marketing, but just making it congruent, right? We've got the QR code on the front and the back. This is a picture of the front of their house, right? So that's like a pattern interrupt, right? It's going to get their attention. We've merged in the address of their house, right? And then I think the offer is compelling. Scan the QR code. And I have a grammatical error here, which I keep forgetting to fix. Scan the QR, but here's what it shows you. You don't have to be perfect at this stuff to make it work. Scan the QR code to get, I'm missing the word to get 4 different automated, and you know what? I thought I changed this to unique. So I'm going to edit that to add 2 and change this to unique, but regardless, it worked. Scan the QR code to get 4 different automated valuations and make your own adjustments based upon property features. That's on the front of the card. And then on the back, we sort of reiterate that offer, play up the fact that they can use the adjustment tool to tweak their value, and that it will give them a more accurate idea of what a buyer might pay for the property in today's market. And then the call to action being to call or text if you would like our team, to prepare a full human generated report for your home value report. So I don't know, those are like the big nuggets that I figured I'd throw out there. And then I like fielding questions and clarifying things and so forth. So since we have a short window, maybe that might be
I think that's perfect.
Yeah,
I want to piggyback off one thing that Josh was talking about. So he's talking about like scan it, see the instant valuations, adjust and engage. If you're taking advantage of, also, we just rolled out the cash offer QR codes. So just like the home valuation QR codes, you can now add cash offers. So for example, like check out the one we just did. It's like, hey, no showings, no this instant, multiple cash offers. And it literally says the same message. Scan here to see your immediate cash offers. And guess what? When they scan it, they literally see 3 cash offers immediately. and you're notified, you know, a seller's looking at cash offers. Same philosophy, right? But being able to pick the data set to deliver to them, I think is really awesome. And what we talked on last week was creating a campaign of emails that talks about valuations offers. You can layer mailers the exact same way.
So I cannot tell you how excited I am for that, because I'm trying to find the example. One of our automated follow-ups is around the cash offers, but what we were doing is sending them to the Zudelio lander, the address only capture, which is okay, right? It's okay because if they scan the QR code, I get notified in real time from thanks.io that this person scanned the QR code, and I can make sure that they get the thing that I'm promising. But even better is they don't have to jump through these extra steps. So we have to, I'll be tweaking that that card and that messaging so that they have that same sort of integration and seamless handoff, right? From scanning it to like instantly seeing those cash offers relevant to their property. I was trying to find.
Yeah. And while you're looking for that, and just so you know, for those of y'all who are listening to this, the offers, when they scan this, whether you have a Zudelio account or not through us, or however you have it, right? Whether you have one or not, we use our direct Zudelio API to deliver instant cash offers. So if you're wanting to do that, but maybe you don't have Zudelio yet, don't worry. Guess what? When they scan it, they're going to see 3 offers from Zudelio immediately. And then they're going to come into, and then just like Josh said, you're going to get the QR code scan notice, but also an iList, you're going to get notification that sellers looking for cash offers, and we bring all that data into you. So I love layering in the two, and it looks like Josh has got some cool examples here.
Yeah, so I was able to find the doc that I was looking at. I remembered that how the naming of it. So I dropped the link to the doc. That document has the email template that I am using with KV Core, for those who are curious, and some example conversations and some more context. But what I wanted to show as it relates to the cash offers, this is the postcard that we're sending as an automated follow-up with that, which again, we're sending it as an automated follow-up to folks that opted in or expressed an interest. But it stands, and it's working for that. In other words, people are scanning that. It stands to reason if you use artificial intelligence or algorithmic data, blah, blah, blah. There's any number of ways that you can find likely home sellers. In fact, you can go into thanks.io and you can build a mailing list of the closest 100 most likely to sell homeowners around any address you choose, your address, your office address, whatever, and send out a message like this. And with that direct integration and the ability for folks to immediately see that, it just differentiates you in another way, in that you're not making them opt in. You're not making them jump through extra hoops, right? You're immediately delivering the thing that you're promising. And that matters, maybe not in every consumer's mind, but it will make a difference in, generally speaking, in the consumer's mind, that this person is can be trusted, right? Because you're making good on a micro commitment, right? They're scanning this to get that information, and we're not making them jump through a bunch of hoops to get the thing they're asking for. Because I'm sure you're like me, like that's annoying, right? Like, get an instant offer on your car, let's say, or whatever, right? You're trading in your car, but you got to fill out a bunch of information, right? You got to fill out this thing and that thing and this thing. Like, they instantly get what you're promising, which is pretty cool. It's
and then using Zudelio behind that is showing a range, like 3 unique offers. Like, if you just show them one offer, you run a risk of that offer not meeting quite their expectations, right? But if you can show them a couple, it engages and it encourages them to go to their dashboard and get more details on it. So we're seeing,
and the same goes for the values. The same goes for the home values, Joe, because if you tell a homeowner, if you give a homeowner one value, you're creating an opportunity for confrontation, right? Because they're either going to think it's unlikely, but they might think it's too high, right? That's the most unlikely, but most of them are going to think it's too low in some way, shape, or form, and then they're going to think, well, he's an idiot, he doesn't know, blah blah blah. you're providing this range of values and the opportunity for them to adjust accordingly, which means the less likely. And here's a great follow-up. Which of the 4 automated values do you think is the most accurate, Mr. or Mrs. Home Seller? Right? And so you're asking them a question that creates engagement. Well, the highest one is what they'll probably say. But regardless, like, it's a great question to ask, to engage and try and get them conversing with you.
Yeah. And so here's the cool thing about that feature that I was telling you before we started talking about this. Our new, what we call our universal page, we'll come up for a better name of it, but that's what it is for now. That one universal page now is not only going to show them their house, you right in front of them, always agent centric, and right under that, hey, here's your values, here's your cash offers, explore your options on one page. Because a lot of times cash offer people are interested in values. People looking at values are also thinking about cash offers. How can you deliver that in one amazing looking experience? So everything we're like Josh is talking about here and what we do, I think that feature that we're about to roll out will become the most powerful thing that you can drop consumers to. It's going to be absolutely amazing.
Love it.
So we are very, very excited to have that live. And it's still powered by the 4 valuations. It's still powered by Zoodealio. Like, it's going to be absolutely a game changer for us in that world. So hey, let's hit Josh up with questions while we have them. I mean, it's already amazing what he's dropped in here. The emails that he uses in KV Core, crazy powerful. And if you don't use KV Core, hey, we can still take that content because we integrate with Follow Up Boss, Lofty, all of those others, right? The content is what engages, and make sure you just use the right CRM link so that way they can click, see their property. I think that is incredibly nice of Josh to share that. And then the mailer.
Credit where credit is due. My KV Core email template, I mean, I pretty much ripped off and made a few tweaks of your CRM template. So
well, hey, if it works, we want everybody to have access to it. And then the mailer templates, and I'll speak for Ryan up at thanks.io. He tells me this all the time. He's like, hey, if your users want to have a custom mailer made or hit a custom audience, instead of them fumbling through our system to do that, have them reach out to our team. They will do that for you. So take advantage of that. I mean, I think with everything that's happening with the SMS text world and the limitations that I think we're all aware of in that world now, I think direct mail and layering that on top of email consistent engagement is going to be absolutely huge.
Yeah.
Can you share?
Sorry, go ahead, Richard.
Can you share that template with us?
Which one?
The email template.
Yeah, it's in the document. I'll drop the link to the document again here.
Oh, okay.
And if you're using KV Core, we have it as a
quick share link,
like the share code. Yeah. Now you have to make sure that you edit it appropriately, right? Because there's stuff in there that you got to edit. But if you get stuck, I've got my main man Mike on my team, who we're happy to help with that kind of stuff if you get stuck.
Nice.
Yeah, and we can layer on top of that and help as well. And Rich, so the links that Josh shared, when we repost this recording, we're going to have all of these links on that repost as well, including the Wake Up Real Estate links and all that, so everybody can make sure they join. So we're going to have all of that tied onto the posting when we share this back out via email and socially.
And along the share code thing, thanks.io also has share codes. So that the first document I shared has like the text part of what we put on the postcards and on the letters and so forth. But we can also directly share like the image template portion, like the front side of the cards for any of those as well.
Charles, question. Either a high five or a question.
Oh, I was just going to say, Josh, I'm a member of your absentee boot camp. So I was just curious to see, how are you implementing and using what iList is doing through your text messaging and your emailing just to get engagement? What kind of short messaging are you sending out to get engagement with the services that iList is having or offering?
I think this is what you're asking. So I do every Tuesday, we do something called Texting Tuesday, and we share text scripts. Yeah. The script this Tuesday was, hey, Joe, are you still interested in getting multiple cash offers on your property at street address, parentheses, or would you prefer full market value, question mark. Okay. Now, we know that with Zoodealio, some of those cash offers are pretty much full market value, but I just like asking questions that allows them to choose. And if they say full market value, I can say, well, good news, because one of the cash offer investors that we have will give you full market value and even let you choose when you move, whatever, however you want to pivot it. But is that what you mean?
Yes, it's just a type of messaging, and I missed it Tuesday, so I didn't hear that. So thank you.
Yeah, no. I just wanted to make sure I was understanding the question correctly. And at wakeup.real estate, we have a whole section that's just scripts and templates. Not all of them are like seller centric or homeowner centric, but there's a whole bunch of them that are. A simple one that we use often as well, if it's someone that at some point had done something to indicate they might be interested in selling, i.e. requested a home value, requested a cash offer, etc., is simply, hey, Joe, are you still thinking about selling your property at street address in 2024? Question mark. Let me know. So simple things like that are generally what we do. And then then that opens the opportunity to, so for example, send an email where they have the integrated dashboard. And I like that, once we can send the universal dashboard, we can say, not only can you get 4 unique automated values of the property, but you can see what a cash buyer might pay for your property right now as well. So that's pretty killer. And I love, just along the texting topic, Joe's, what do you call it? Your text 1-2 punch. I forget what you call it.
I call it my bump text.
Bump text. So the very first time I sent out the email to the homeowners, it was like September or October, I did the bump test or the bump text. And that was killer because I got a bunch of people that said, I didn't get the email. And then I said, I was able to go and say, well, this is the email that I sent it to. Is this the best email for you? And almost every one of them said, no, actually, this is the best one, which means either we skip traced it and got a bad email, or they gave us a bad email because, everybody has one of those emails that are like, you use for opt-ins or whatever. But it was a wonderful engagement piece. And some of the best conversations I had from it were from those folks that said, I didn't get it.
Yep.
I would like to see it. How can I get it? Or something along those lines. And Howard, by the way, I reached out, I chatted Ryan. So Ryan will be getting with you to figure out what on earth went on there.
Yeah. And then so I want y'all to pay attention to one thing that in Josh's text SMS templates he keeps referencing. Notice they're short and he always asks a question. Always. It's something as simple as this. If you do not ask a question, they're not going to respond to you, right? It's that simple understanding. But I've seen so many people using different text campaigns that they're not asking a question. So it's something as simple as the bump text. Hey, did you get the email I sent you? Or, hey, would you like to see cash offers or full market? Everything he does is encouraging a consumer to respond in a non-salesman-y way, right? So important.
Yeah. And I think if you're doing that kind of marketing on a consistent basis, mixing up what I would call binary questions, in other words, yes, no, 1 or 2, right? And that are really easy to respond to with more non-binary, where you're open-ended questions, yes. Right? I would do if you're busy, right? If you're busy, I would use open-ended questions because fewer people will respond. If you're not busy and you want to create more conversation opportunities, use binary because you'll get more responses, but it will require you to do more work and more digging and engage back and forth. So just mixing and matching those where appropriate. And what I see, so two issues I see is people only using open-ended, right? They're basically asking people's life story, and people, only the super motivated are going to do that. Or just making statements in the marketing and not creating an expectation for them to respond, leaving people wondering, well, okay, well, what am I supposed to do with that? Like, what do I do with this? Right. So specifically telling them what to do. And as simple as I do this on almost all of my text messages, I put LMK, let me know. Right. Like I'm re-emphasizing the point. I've asked you a question and I'm asking you to let me know. And depending, I'll also sometimes I'll say LMK either way. Like, let me know either way, right? Good or bad, yes or no, right? Are you still interested in selling your property at blank address in 2024? ? LMK either way. Let me know either way, yes or no. Okay. Yeah. And then I can, when they say no, I can say, okay, are you ever thinking about selling, or whatever. You can pivot from that any way you want.
Yeah, exactly. And that once again, that's just such an important part of it. The questions, every conversation Shane and I send out to anybody, it always has a question. And it's something I can't remember where we heard that, but it was years ago we heard that. And prior to that, we were making a bunch of statements, right? We were trying to drive action doing that. And it's when we flipped it to simple questions is when engagement just started picking up. And something Josh mentioned, when you do this, be ready to respond. Be ready to respond, because if somebody texts you, right, and this is just a common thing, when somebody texts you back and says, well, yeah, that sounds interesting to me, tell me more, right, whatever it is, when that happens, you better be ready to respond, because they sent you a text. They're expecting something back quick. If you respond to them 6 hours later or the next morning, they might have 30 other messages, forget who you are. So
and they also feel like it was a bot or automation or something like that. Exactly. So if that happens, right, if that happens to you, despite your best intentions, what I would recommend you do is acknowledge that. I'm so sorry. Somehow I missed your response yesterday or earlier, and then ask. So you acknowledge, like, it just demonstrates that this is a real person here. And I screwed up. I'm sorry. And that is usually a good way to re-engage or reignite, the conversation and get them talking to you.
Yep, it's exactly right. Sherry, real quick, jumping into some of these questions really fast. And Josh, you might be able to talk a little bit more on the pricing of thanks.io. While you're answering that, I'm going to just do a quick screen share for Sherry on where to access thanks.io and how to set that up.
So Ernie, the $49 per month is for their business account, and you get better pricing. So if you're sending any amount of volume, I would go with the business account. If you're using it just very, very sparingly, you'll pay a little more per direct mail piece, but you might win out. So it's just a math equation. They cut you a deal, a little break on the cost per card, and the price per mail piece varies depending on small postcard, big postcard, note card, gift card, windowless letter, windowed letter, things that, it just, and you can see it right on their dashboard. You can create a free account and check out the dashboard.
Their pricing is very transparent on depending what you send out. So Sherry, real quick, to access the direct mail that we're talking about, if you come into your iList dashboard, click on direct mail automation, it'll open you right up to that section right here. And somebody else asked this also, where do you find the codes built for the QR system? So if you hit manage, we have your valuation QR code, we have your cash offer QR code right here. If you simply give these, there is a place where you can add them into your Thanks.io account, but if you simply give these to support, let them help you build out a campaign, they'll build all these in for you as well. So here's how you can set it up, and here's where you can do it. And like Josh just said, you can actually go and set up a free account, do some test runs, different things like that. So that's where you access the kind of the gateway into it, into iList, if that's what you were asking. So Larry, how do you mainly upload the picture of their personal home? It's a great thing about thanks.io. They come with, in fact, I don't know if you can see that or not, but this is a test I did just directly to my house. It takes the Google Street images, puts it on the mailers automatically for you.
So you can either do the Google Street View or the map view. I oftentimes do the map view because I'm in a rural area. And so sometimes the Google Street View is like a row of bushes or like a guardrail.
Or like really far away. Like, look how far away the house is from the camera, right? So
right.
It kind of depends.
So if you're in an area, like if you're in a super densely populated, Phoenix, the Street View is that'll be great because they can see their property. But if not, I would use the Google Map View, and it's still attention getting. And most people have looked at their property on a Google Map View. So even though it's overhead, they're still going to recognize, oh, that's my house.
Yep. Exactly right. Exactly right. All right, we got a couple of more minutes here. Let's hit Josh up with any last minute questions. But I mean, so far, gosh, the messaging, the templates, the designs. I mean, you are loaded up with so many tools. You've got the vehicle to use it, whether it's your own CRM. Keep in mind, we integrate with most CRMs with all the one-click automations. And as the big announcement that we rolled out going forward in 2024, if you don't have a CRM that's equipped to handle that kind of marketing for you, we also give you the full-blown custom CRM with everything built into it. So we just want to make sure you have the best vehicle to take this type of functionality out. Bob Milloway, yes, the universal code to add it for the QR. Yes, that is one of the things. When that rolls out into production, the universal script code will be in there as well. So great question. And by the way, I really, really think the second that universal hits, I think everybody's automatically going to switch it to their default. Like, it is that awesome. So yeah, I'm really, really excited. And by the way, when I roll it out, if you don't like it, please send me feedback. Like, we can change it, but we've gone through 10 different variations of it now, and it's landed in a place that is absolutely amazing. So I'm really, really excited for that. So, well, awesome. Well, here's what we're going to do, right? We'll stay on here for a couple more minutes, but we will repost this recording. We'll have links to all the docs that Josh added on here for us. We'll have links to the Wake Up Real Estate. Make sure you do that. You can also join and go back and listen to a couple of the last episodes of it, but we want to make sure that everybody has access to the best resources. And you heard it from Josh. I mean, once again, these are things that he is doing and driving massive traffic. So these are not concepts that we are thinking about or making up on our, like, it's what he's actually doing. So you get to hear it from the man himself here. This will be
just for context, to double tap on that. I'm going to look at how many I have in the automated. I have over 200 homeowners in the automated direct mail follow-up that are just they're getting some kind of direct mail from me every 2 to 3 weeks. So that series, that first doc that I shared, is a series of different messaging and different 283 is on my iList 6-month touch. So it's a combination of different postcards, different messaging, different offers, the home values, the cash offers, right? And just seeing what people respond to and what connects with them. I can't wait to switch the link for the cash offers to that.
It's going to be awesome. Now, Josh, I do want to hit on one topic while ago. I wrote this down, and I want to circle back around on it. You have a piece of direct mail that goes out 79 days later. Let that sink into y'all's head. So many agents think of, like, it's got to be within a 2-3 week time frame. No, he has a piece of direct mail that goes out 79 days later. That is awesome. And so just think, it's about the consistency. They might not be ready now, but you hit them in 79 days. He got engagement the other day from that. What if he hits it 90 days later, or what? I mean, think of the different steps that are built into that. So it's not about getting as much as you can right now. It's about setting up a campaign and letting the campaign work for you.
Yep. They get day 1, day 15, day 31, day 49, day 79, day 110, day 150, and day 189. And I could continue to add to this if I want. If I want this to go on, I could repeat. I could just either take that list and after that time just literally repeat it, or I can keep adding to this, just like you could add to an automated smart campaign in KV Core or the iList CRM or any of that.
So that part stood out to me a while ago. I wanted to cover that up. By the way, Shanner just posted the link for our Facebook group. So make sure you join that, because that's where this is going to be posted. We're going to link it up to all of Josh's stuff as well for you. So it'll be posted.
Ernie, the golden letter that I'm using is in the first doc, which I'm going to copy and paste again. It's right in there. I'm not claiming it that it's the best version of the golden letter, but that's what I'm using.
Yeah. And Soliad, we have inside of our CRM, we have help guides on the emails, the videos, everything to use. So if you need help on that, join one of our, we do CRM best practices calls, I believe once or twice a week. So we can make sure that you are, I'll post that on social media as well. Join those and we can go in and make sure that your emails, and part of sending emails out, and I know Josh uses KV Core, which has it set up. If you're using our tools or another tool, it is really important to make sure you have your email system set up correctly. Gmail and Yahoo, I don't know if y'all been paying attention, just announced a lot of new regulations on adding like the MX records and all of that. They're trying to prevent marketing emails, in other words, from coming out. So it's really important that you have dedicated domains set up for email marketing. We help you set all that stuff up inside the CRM. So I hope that was your question. I was answered, but we do have videos and calls set up for that. So awesome. Well, guys, this was one of my favorite calls. I love hearing from people that are actually using things and seeing amazing results, and like a handful of things that Josh said, it's like I'm going to implement personally. And I think it's absolutely awesome. So join the Facebook group if you're not already a member of it. We're going to post everything on there. This recording, links to everything is given us. And so do me a favor, follow that, and then jump on Wake Up with Real Estate with Josh and Ryan. And make sure you are following that on their social and YouTube. We want to make sure that, and feel free to share that out, right? It's not just for you on this call. Put it in front of everybody. It's great information, like the texting ones y'all did. That was a powerhouse of information in there. And so I think just take advantage of the resources you have in front of you.